it was time for Harbaugh and Ravens to part ways. Harbaugh was a good coach. I'm not gonna say great. He was a good coach, but it was time for some new energy in Baltimore. And Harbaugh, you've been there 18 years, so you from the old way of coaching professional football. But things has changed. We had Lamar Jackson, a dual threat. You got Derrick Henry. You got Andrews. You got Likely. You got Flowers. There's no way you should not be in the playoffs. And I don't understand why. I was watching some things on social media about how great of a coach Harbaugh is. What have you done to be a great coach? You had a lot of talent and you couldn't win. So it was time for them to part ways with Harbaugh and get a young coach or get another coach who can continually unlock the talents of Lamar Jackson and Zay Flowers and Likely and Andrews and even with Derrick Henry. I know he's getting at the end of his career, but they need some new blood, man. Harbaugh just wasn't the answer.
Well, 18 years with an organization, long time. Obviously, when you spend that much time in one city, obviously you're like family, right? I would imagine you're in the community. The community's into you, your family. You become part of that. It's not just a job, right? 18 years, you're embedded in the community. You brought a Super Bowl. He got into the playoffs. So he changed that culture when he first got there. But you're right. In the last 5, 6, 7 years, he had dropped, right? You can't take away his resume and what he did for Baltimore. But what have you done?
All he did was win a Super Bowl.
Well, well, that's more than what most coaches do in the NFL. Some coaches coach the whole career and never win one.
No, great coach because you won one Super Bowl. Michael Carter won
right.
one Super Bowl.
You're right. He's not great, but I thought he was good. But the question is, what have you done for me lately, right? And lately he hasn't done much for Baltimore, right? They've been struggling, and you talk a little bit, like you said, you have talent, man. You have Lamar Jackson, what two-time MVP or something? Derrick Henry, one of the best running backs still today. I mean, that team is good, and he has underperformed. He has underperformed. Whether it's a missed field goal, whether it's a drop pass, in the end zone, whatever it was, it falls in the shoulders of the coach, right? Because when you look at this year, they struggled. They struggled mightily. They barely got in to the playoffs. So I also agree with you. I like John Harbaugh, but I did think it was time for him to go. I think in my opinion, Baltimore made the right decision. You got to have a new voice to inject some energy in him. So
definitely.
I thought that was the right move, and not only for Baltimore, but I think it was the right move for John Harbaugh too. I think they both needed to go. I think he needs a fresh start. I think Baltimore needs a fresh start. We'll see where Baltimore goes from this point. My next question to you is: do you think that John Harbaugh, because his name's popping up everywhere now? I read something where
I did too.
Yeah, they said as soon as he got fired, his agent had like I don't know how many calls, and he's linked to Cleveland, and he's a head candidate for the Giants. Do you, James, think that John Hart, because he's already come out and said I want to coach again? Do you think we'll see him on the sidelines in 2026?
Yeah, he'll be on the sideline because he's a coach. But honestly, I think he needs to take a year off. Learn the new NFL. He needs to learn the new NFL because you still the plays you ran was the plays you was running 2, 3, 4, 5 years ago. Even though you had a different offensive coordinator, but it was the same game plan. So that means you had your input on the same game plan. But I just don't. He's gonna coach because You know, the NFL wants him to coach, but wherever he goes, I just don't see him really succeeding. I thought, you know, going to Cleveland and helping us Shador and Miles Garrett and Junkins and those guys. And I love Isaiah Bond, the wide receiver. Love that guy. But honestly, wherever he go, he's gonna fail. He's
Mm.
gonna he's not that great of a coach. When you won the Super Bowl, man, if I'm not mistaken, didn't they have Ray Lewis and Ed Reed?
Oh yeah, it was in
Um,
2015 or something like that. It's been a while since he won.
that's what I said. That's what I said. You know, he had those great Hall of Fame defensive players. Be honest, I just don't think he's a good coach, but I don't see him as a great coach. And wherever team he goes to, he's gonna fail.
That's fair. I don't think he's a great coach either. I think he's a really good coach, but I'm definitely not. I don't think he's great. But I do think he will coach. There are definitely teams that want him. He
Yeah,
obviously has
it
come
is.
out. Yeah, he's
It,
obviously come out and said he wants to coach. So I definitely think he'll be somewhere. I'm not sure where he'll be, but it will be very interesting because here on the podcast we'll continue to follow this
somebody gonna pick him up and think
because where he goes will be important. Will he succeed? James says he's going to fail. I don't know that I want to. I want to say that.
and Baltimore failed to realize Harbaugh didn't build that team. Ozzie Newsome did.
Right.
But
Ozzie
he
built it, and Harbaugh coached it. Right. Right.
Ozzie Newsome was the general manager. He also was the tight end for the Cleveland Browns when he also moved and became the Baltimore Ravens.
Yeah.
So, you know, Ozzie Newsome got him that talent to win. And once Ozzie Newsome was gone and those defensive players were gone, what has Harbaugh done?
I,
When the
well, he,
when was the last time Harbaugh been in a AFC Championship game?
it's been a while. I think he got there. There's no question that he's underperformed in the last couple of years with the talent that he's had, with the quarterback that he's had, right? And then bringing in Derrick Henry. The last couple of years, one of the still the best running backs in the NFL. You had definitely underperformed, no doubt about it.
No, come on.
And
No, I told you at the beginning of the year they should get rid of Harbaugh.
yeah, I like I said earlier, I think that was the right call for both. I think it's also a good call for Harbaugh. He needs a change, man. He needs a change, right? You need a change of scenery. It gets stale there, right? It's drop passes, missed field goals, and even James. Look, I'll go this far. Even if they would have won, which they would have been playing here in the wild card, but when you look back at this season, right? He still underperformed. I mean, with Cincinnati out, I mean, Pittsburgh isn't better in that division than Baltimore, right? And yet, you barely snuck in. So either way you see it, had he gone to the wild card, when you look back, let's say he makes it to the wild card and he loses this weekend, right? I would have looked back at that season. He still underperformed, right? The only way I would have thought that he had a good season is if he could take it all the way to the AFC Championship game and maybe the Super Bowl. But still, when you look at the talent he has and the record that they have and the games that they lost, the only conclusion I could have came with, yes, he underperformed. Now you look at his whole 18-year career there with Baltimore, because he comes from special teams. He was a special teams coordinator. He was very, very good. And then he got the job to become the head coach of Baltimore. So he was never a coach. He was a coordinator, special teams. Then he gets this job. He was able in 18 years to win a Super Bowl. A lot of coaches can't say that. So props to him, right? But now moving forward, he's going to get another job. How successful is he going to be with this next team? You say he's going to fail. Already you're saying there's no chance he'll get back to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, he's gonna fail, man. Harbaugh. I was I was on social media. They talking about he's the number one sought after head coach. Why? Why? You had two-time MVP. You had a running back who rushed for 2,000 yards. and you still couldn't get to the AFC Championship.
True, man. I mean, that's true.
It,
I mean,
so
I can't defend that.
what has he done? But when it's a whole bunch of coaches won one Super Bowl.
Yeah.
What had you done in 18 years? You just like Mike Tomlin. Mike Tomlin been in Pittsburgh by about 16, 17 years. Harbaugh, you've been in Baltimore 8 years. Y'all won one Super Bowl in 18 years. So is that telling me you're a great coach? No, it's not. It's telling me you're an average coach. That's it.
Yeah. Well, I'll say he's a little above average, but I won't say he's great. I won't say that, but I think he's above average, but not great, in my opinion. Not great because, like I said, when you look at the talent that he's had the last couple of years here with Baltimore, let's say the last 3 years, he's underperformed all 3 years.
He didn't win.
No doubt about it.
That talent.
Yeah.
He's an average coach. He's not above average. He's an average coach. The only time you won because you had Hall of Famers on the defense. After that, you couldn't coach those other players up to be good enough to even get past the second round. So you're an average coach.
Okay. I mean, that's fair.
Super Bowl can get past the second round. You're average coach.
You know why I say that? Because a ball was dropped. He has nothing to do with catching the ball. The ball was thrown to be able to tie the game, and your tight end drops it. Man, that's on the player. That's not on Harbaugh. That's on the player, right? And then so he lost that playoff, and the season's over. They moved the ball down the field. Your field goal kicker, it's a 40-something yards. I mean, that should be easily made the way these field goal kickers are kicking. So not advancing again. I mean, he can't go kick the field goal, right? So it's a little bit of bad luck for not advancing to the
Ain't no bad luck. It's terrible coaching.
No, that's not accurate. That's not accurate because he look
at this.
No, that's not bad coaching because the teams in position.
That team in Cleveland beat Pittsburgh, right? Shedeur Sanders with a running back is on injured reserve. They don't have no wide receivers. Their offensive line is terrible, and they beat Pittsburgh. And Shedeur on his fifth start beat Pittsburgh.
But
all the same players on your team, and then you put it in the hands of a rookie kicker, man. That's terrible, man. That's terrible.
But we're not looking at one game. We're looking at an 18-year resume here from a guy that came. I'm looking at the whole thing, and like I said, the last couple of years, he put his team in a position to win the game. This last. He coached well enough to win the game. Your field goal kicker got to go out there and make the field goal. I mean, I don't know that I can actually talk about the season because I expected the record to be better than it was. That's why I'm saying the record, the way you performed. I know Lamar Jackson was hurt, but you had Derrick Henry there, right? He underperformed in the season because the record wasn't what I thought it should be with the talent that he had. Moving forward now, he lost that playoff game. That's on that he coached well enough to put that team in a position to win.
Okay, Andrew missed that pass. I understand he missed that pass for the two-point conversion, but there's no way your team is more talented.
Oh yeah.
And it comes down to a rookie field goal kicker. That is the coaching. So there's no way a team just lost to Shedeur Sanders and the garbage Cleveland Browns. You should have been within to put on a rookie kicker to make a field goal to win the game. It shouldn't even been there. Baltimore is way more talented. They got way more talent than Pittsburgh. That is the coaching.
That's true. That's true. But we've also seen other great teams lose to bad teams. Like Harbaugh's not the only good coach who has played a season, and we've gone in and said, "Hey, this team is good," and they've lost to a bad team, a team that shouldn't have lost. Good coaches have lost to bad teams.
To go to the playoffs, name me one good team lost to a bad team? Name me one.
In the playoffs?
To go to the playoffs and lose to a bad team.
Oh, I'd have to look that up, but I'm sure it's happened.
It hasn't happened, man.
Oh, it's happened, James. It has happened in the end. John Harbaugh is not the only team that's lost to a bad team. I mean, I right now I don't have it in front of me, but when we get off here, I can definitely search for it.
We're
But
gonna go to the last 3 years. Last 3 years.
there have been
That was bad.
yeah, there's been I'll have to look that up, but I'm sure there has been a bad teams, good team, good teams that have lost to bad teams. I'm sure that's happened. I don't know how often.
DK Metcalf was out. Come on, man.
Well, no, they. I'm like I said, he underperformed, but I'm looking at his whole 18. I'm looking at how he started, where he came from, the opportunity he was given, and what he did in 18 years. Right, like that's what I'm saying. He's not great. You're right. I'm not going to put him with the great coaches. There have been some great coaches, but I do think he's a little above average. I do. I do.
What has he done to say that he's above average, but win a Super Bowl? What?
I think when you win a Super Bowl, I think when you win a Super Bowl, that's hard. There's been many coaches, good coaches, that never won a Super Bowl.
Man, is Mike McCarthy above average?
I think at one point Mike McCarthy was good.
No, I'm just saying, is he above average coach?
Mike McCarthy? Yeah, he's not a bad coach. I think he's about where Harbaugh is. Yeah, in Green Bay. Yes, because I think it's hard to win a Super Bowl. We talk. It's not easy. It's hard. It's hard to win one Super Bowl. It is.
When you got talent, you should win.
No, you should, but that's not always the case. You know that. I mean, Joe Burrow is a great. He may never win one, right? I mean, we've seen great players who never win a Super Bowl. Never.
Oh, yeah. And then I agree with that.
And I mean, like I said, I can't put these coaches in that great, because great is different. But I do think Harbaugh is above average. He was an
average quarterback. He's an average coach.
But nevertheless, he's going to get an opportunity again, I think so. So we'll see how that plays. I think his
brother is a way better coach than he is.
That could be true. That could be true. That could be true. But the career's not over yet. So hopefully we're still doing these podcasts when he retires, and then we can really sum it up. But I think right now, to me, he's a little above average, and we'll see. Now, if he does win another Super Bowl, where do you have him? If he happens to take another team and win a Super Bowl, where is he now? Because right now you're saying he's average. So if he takes this team, whether it be Cleveland or the Giants, wherever he coaches, if in the next 7 years he takes another team to a Super Bowl, that's 2. Where do you have him? Where would you rank John Harbaugh then?
It's not going to happen. So I'm not going to rank him. It's not going to happen. Okay. He's not going to win a Super Bowl in the next 7 years. It's not going to happen. Okay. I'm asking you a question, Gabe.
What was that?
My Seattle Seahawks team.
You want to talk about it? Let's go and talk about it.
Do you consider Pete Carroll an average quarterback, an average coach, or above average coach?
I think he's the same way as Harbaugh. I think he's a little above average. I do. I have average coaches who don't win Super Bowls but get into the playoffs, right? Like, I think once you win a Super Bowl, you're above average, even if you won one, because I think it's so hard. The way I judge these coaches, I think it's hard to win. I think it's hard to win on Sunday, much less a Super Bowl. I think if you win a Super Bowl as a coach, I think you're above average. And then how many you win, how many times, that determines your greatness. But if you can win one, I don't put you, because I put average coaches that are good and never get there. Like let's say, like where do you put Mark Levy? I think was his name, the Bills coach. He was a legendary coach who went to the Super Bowl 4 times in a row and never won one. Where do we put him?
Average.
Okay, so and see that. Okay, and I agree, he's average, right? Now, if John Harbaugh, Mike McCarthy win one, I can't put average in them because they won something that he never did. And I think Mark Levy's a great, great coach, and he had talent. He had Bruce Smith, he had Jim Kelly, he had Thurman Thomas, right? But he came across a really good Dallas Cowboy team, right? He just came across some teams that were better than him.
Bruce Smith.
Yeah, that's why I say they're a little above average. I agree with you that they are not great. We can't put great, but I put above average because they did something that I think other coaches that are really, really good are average because they never won, right? And then you determine greatness by how many Super Bowls you win as a coach.